Hello, everybody. It's me, Sugar Song, as always, and today we're going to be talking about Death Note, the series from Netflix.
Those who review unopposed will soon find someone like me. I have a different opinion than you, and I hope to help you see.
Leon, is that you?
Hello.
Hi. Leon, you're not in your pony form.
I figured I probably would need my human form for this.
What's up? Are you going to actually help me review this show?
No, actually, I'm going to be... Actually, consider this your warning. I'm not going easy. I'm going against you.
What? You actually like this?
Actually, yes. I found it quite fun to watch. If not, keeping me on the edge of my seat.
Alright, guys, here we go, head to head. Leave down in the comments below what side you're on. Are you on Team Sugar Song or are you on Team Leon?
Yes. Alright, let's go.
Seriously. Anyways, spoiler warning, guys. If you want to actually watch this, it's on Netflix right now. They also have the animated series as well on Netflix, like I said before. And I also will be leaving a link in the description for the live action movie that I talked about last time in the first review. So, now we're going to start. So, yeah, Light. We're starting with the worst character in the show. For me, he seemed like he was a really emo guy. Like, he didn't really care about anything. He was a self-hating emo. At one point, he screamed like a little girl when he first saw Ryuk. Like, obviously, yeah, that's like a normal reaction to have, but the original Light would never do that. He is cocky in his abilities and feels that he doesn't need to be scared of something that he feels that can't technically hurt him. And in this one, they just kind of made it seem like he was constantly scared of Ryuk, and I just dislike that entirely. The whole entire time, he kind of like took cues from other people, which the real Light would never do either, and he let other people push him around. So that's kind of why I didn't like Light. Leon, your thoughts?
Yeah, no. This dude was like the worst character in this whole series besides the upcoming bitch herself, which we'll be talking about in a minute anyways.
Yeah.
Let me be honest when I say this. When your pictures that are your prom pictures, I might add, are more expressive than you have something wrong.
Yeah.
The dude is a bore the whole movie. He doesn't do anything fun. He's pretty much just boring the whole movie. When it came to this character, I absolutely hated him. I didn't like him whatsoever. I don't think even the most forgiving fan can like this character. This dude is bad. No one would like this character. He's nothing like the original Light. He has items that the original Light wouldn't have, like an Alienware computer when he's an honor student. Seriously, you're carrying around an Alienware computer, which is more than a MacBook by the way. A lot of the time, they're more than MacBooks because he's typing papers probably. Light, you stupid. And then let's not forget to mention the dude literally has no huge plans. He has one plan. I'm gonna be the good guy. I'm gonna kill everybody. And then things hit the fan.
Yeah. No shit.
The dude was way too hopeful.
Yeah.
The Light in the original series knew something was going to happen to him. He knew that soon enough he was going to get caught and he was going to have to hide like a sly little fox that he was. And he did. He 100% hid.
Oh, yeah. I do agree with that. And I did mention this before, but he also like sold kids homework, which I don't think the real Light would do that either. I believe that he would be the upstanding student in that scenario too. He wouldn't sell kids homework on the side and get in trouble for that, and that was another thing I felt a flaw too. So
depending on the teacher, I feel like he'd make a pretty good profit off of that. cha-ching.
Right. Well, he did get in trouble for it and was rightly
Don't get
outscolded.
caught. I'm joking. Don't actually do that.
Right. Don't do that, kids. Anyways, so Light is in my ring for this first part, right?
If anything, I believe that the Light from the original was better.
Right.
So, yeah. Alright, next character.
Right. And it was both of our favorite characters, Ryazaki, also known as L. Do you want to take it away, or do you want me to?
I guess I'll go first. There's nothing I can really say that's bad about this character. A lot of people did complain that he was played by a black guy, but I really think that's just people that are very pure towards the anime itself of him being pure white, and not even that a pale
He's
white.
Asian in the anime. Sorry.
All right, cool. So in the anime he's pale, and a lot of people don't like the fact that he's not pale in this, that he's black, that he's far from pale, stuff like that. A lot of people also hate the idea that he's actually showing his face instead of hiding behind the computer screen. I personally don't. When I was watching this anime, I just got annoyed looking at the L of the computer screen, and I was just like, dude, I hate this guy already just because he's just being annoying and is just hiding behind a computer screen like a smug little fucker. But the reason I like this is because they changed up the story. L didn't have a story back when with the original Death Note. Now he did. A whole story that is actually told by Watari. In the series, he's amazingly emotional. He gives off so many emotions that you feel going through him. Light doesn't give any. His father gives a little, and then when you go to L, holy Jesus, watch out! This dude's like a train of emotions.
I do have to agree. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. He shows so much promise. I can't hate on this character at all. He's too well trained. It must have taken him a month or two to get down the sitting position and the constantly leaning tops, at least.
I do have to agree that L was the best character in this series, and I do like the idea of like the little bit more backstory. But to be honest, if you are a true L fan, you would have caught on to the fact that that was actually L's original backstory to begin with. My opponent here says that you don't really learn anything about L in the original series, and actually you do. I already knew that he was like that from the original series. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They actually did do that in the original series too. And basically, it goes down to boil down into this. Yes, he might not be pale white, and he might not be a panda bear anymore, like a lot of his fans would say. But I do like the fact that he's different. But like, I think it might be a little bit too different because the fact that L has to stay in the shadows because he's known for cracking these like impossible cases to crack, and that's why he has to stay in the shadows and stay behind the anagram of L, so then that way people won't go out and kill him. And this L is going out and actually showing his face to the cameras in a way. I mean, like, yeah, you can't like see the bottom of his face, but you can see his eyes and stuff, and him actually going out and talking to like the press. Normally he would have Watari be the one to do it and not just go half-cocked out there and doing it himself. And that's kind of why I like the notion that how he figured out who Kira was, or where Kira was in the original series, being a little bit better than this way that they did it. It was kind of unclear.
But let me explain something, because this is actually said in this thing. L's done this and shown his face already. In this series, it's said that L has already shown his face already, and he doesn't really hide behind his computer screen. So in this universe that we're in, it's pretty much natural for him to do this.
That is true.
You have to be open to change in this part because he's actually doing it because he's done it before. He solves some crimes, but keep in mind, the only one they list is one crime that's very obscure. They don't list any more besides that one.
That is true. They did change Elle's story arc a little bit in that, and that's kind of another reason why I didn't really care for it. But overall, Elle was one of my favorite characters, even in this series.
Point to my side.
Point to his side. I can take my lumps. I'm just saying.
I can take my lumps and
I'm just giving my criticism.
My lovely lady
so
lumps.
1-1. Alright, so on to the next character and / book. We're going to Misa Misa, and we're also going to be talking about the Death Note, because she does, like, evolve around, like, the new changes that have been to the Death Note, so that's kind of why we're putting her in the same group, because she wasn't enough of a good character to give her her own thing. Just saying that right now. So
let's start off with the roast of Misa Misa.
Right.
Crazy psycho bitch. That's the only thing I have to say.
Yeah, she was like basically the protagonist, or sorry, I can't say that word right. The person that was bad in this particular
antagonist.
Scenario. Yes, thank you. In this,
you said pro-negative.
Shut up, antagonist.
Negative.
Shut up. Anyways, yeah, she was the antagonist in this. She did take a lot of liberties that the real Misa Misa would never do. Maya, as she's called in this series, is nothing like the real Misa Misa. The real Misa Misa was very dedicated to being, or wanting to be, with Light. She was also, basically a force to be reckoned with, because she had her own Death Note. This Maya didn't even have her own Death Note and pretty much stole lights
24/7
all the time.
For example, you know all those FBI agents? She tasered Light, knocked him out.
She did taser Light.
Writing the name. Yeah, she did.
You meant she tasered one of the FBI agents and then did it and had him write him in there. Not Light. Oh, she never tasered Light.
Sorry, it looked like she tasered Light because they weren't good at showing the scenes. Anyways, she tasered an FBI agent, basically then killed every single one of his comrades.
By using him. By using him with the Death Note. And the thing is, she tore out a page from the Death Note. How did she know to do that? She's never had the Death Note enough to read all the rules. How would she know that the Death Note could do that? That was like another thing.
She was just going off the idea that maybe it'll work.
Yeah, that was another thing I had a problem with.
That's kind of
on to the new rules with the Death Note, because we're done talking about her. I hate her.
Yeah, also, basically, most satisfying way she dies ever, by the way. We'll talk about that after we're done talking about the Death Note, because this is the fun part.
Right, the Death Note does go with how she dies, and I do have inconsistencies with this particular death on how it was. And this one will leave up to you whose side you're on for the Death Note. So Death Note.
The Death Note. There's a new set of rules. One of them being you can control people only up to 2 days, first off. Second off, if you write someone's name in, you can burn said page to basically spare them from the Death Note. Basically, it's pretty much like calling the Shinigami off them, like, yo, fuck off, he's cool. And then, of course, we have my favorite one, which is the conditions. Basically, if certain conditions are met, they will be enacted to kill the person. There's a problem, though, that Light does it during the conditions.
Yes, this is when Misa Misa dies in this, or I should say Maya. This is when Maya dies in the series. Basically,
her name's Bicha.
Yeah, no, shut up. Anyways, so basically, this is what I have a problem with. In the original Death Note, you couldn't make conditions like this because it was just too hard. Well, I guess it wasn't too hard for the Death Note, but, like, I mean, there would be no way to do it. Like, how the burning of the page, that wasn't a thing. There was a thing that if you write somebody's name in the wrong 3 times, that they're spared from the Death Note. You can never kill them with that Death Note again. You can only kill them with a different Death Note if you got your hands a hold of it. And I kind of like that rule because of the fact that if you did screw up with somebody's name too many times, that it would just be like, well, you didn't really want to kill them, did you? So that's kind of my notion on that part. Also, the fact that
stupid rule. Where's the game?
how's that a stupid rule?
Shinigami just like, oh fuck, what was that guy's name?
Well, the
Gunner Down?
Shinigami wouldn't have that problem though, because they have the
Leon
Shinigami
Brown.
eyes.
I know, but what if they just don't want to leave their house? What was that guy's name? What was that girl's name? Jackie Damayo? Jackie Domino. Oh, Jackie Zamoski. Wait, how did that one not work? Oh, it's spelled with a Z. Shit. You can no longer kill this person. God damn it.
Hey, Mark, can you kill this person for me? Sure. So that's kind of how it works. I love how I just named a Shinigami Mark. Anyways, so
Ryu, we have Ryu. We have what was the other one's name? Misa's. What was Misa's
Rem.
name?
Rem.
We have Ryu. We have Rem, and then we have Mark.
Yep, Mark is the new Shinigami. Anyways. So I didn't like that idea that you can actually go and like have that conditioning to where, or like have it to where it would burn the notepad. Now here's the condition that he came up with me for Misa Misa 2.
I'll explain this one because this one I get more.
Yeah.
So for all those who know how to code, it's the same conditioning statement. If so and so happens, then so and so will happen. So you all know about these statements, and you all love them because they're very useful at times. You can do this, you can do that, you can make it so pushing the W key will make the guy do a backflip, whatever. You can do all that stuff, but there's a problem with this statement in general. This is my theory, by the way. Basically, in this Death Note, you are allowed to do condition statements, and Light messes it up. So how a condition statement goes is the thing that happens, what will happen, and that's it. That's how it's supposed to go. If you push the A button, you will explode. That is how a condition statement works. So, basically how Light did it. He wrote what will happen first, and then wrote how it happens. How it would activate. This, I believe, was absolutely wrong, because if I'm correct on my coding stuff, which I'm pretty sure I am, he shouldn't have done that, as he just screwed over Misa Misa, because he made it so 3 separate things happen. Basically what he did would make an error in a code, but instead, because he's using the Death Note, it makes an error in the Death Note, and the Death Note just defaults to, okay, we're killing all these guys separately.
Yeah, so what he's basically saying is that this is exactly what he wrote. If Misa Misa took the Death Note, I guess we should call her Maya, huh? If Maya takes the Death Note, then she will die. And then all these other conditions would happen if she died. But see, the thing is, he wrote the other 2 guys that were going to be a part of this like little scenario down first.
To put it simply, this is how he wrote it. You explode, fireworks go off, and then he put the condition statement of if you push A. That's pretty much how he did it, which is absolutely wrong. So, in other words, he screwed over Misa Misa.
Yeah, Mia. I like that. But no, the original Death Note really didn't work that way. Like, from the live action movie that Leon hasn't actually seen yet, it's really good. I highly suggest it. Anyways, basically how they have it go down, how they kill Naomi in this particular scenario was perfectly awesome. And basically he had it to where Naomi was going to carry a gun to carry out her own suicide. But the reason why she committed suicide is because she thinks that she killed the other girl. Like, basically she commits suicide because she comes to this realization. But he never put down the fact that she actually killed her. She just shot towards her, and in her Death Note, he wrote that she would die from a gunshot. So basically, it filled in the blanks that she would get shot by her gun and die. So, like, it's, and like, even Light in that particular one says the Death Note's powerful. because I never put in the fact that she would actually kill her. I just put in the fact that she would die from a gunshot, and then Naomi would be carrying the only gun, because in Japan, uh, where this resides from, they don't really carry around firearms, and she would be the only one with a firearm. So I thought that
Sorry,
was
Americans, you're not welcome in Japan with your fucking
da da
Desert
da 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 da.
modified with shotgun. Like, you guys aren't allowed with your Desert Eagle modified, like, looking like shotgun shells.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
how do you guys do this? This is an actual thing, Sion. Make it appear right above me. I'm pointing at it right now.
What is
This
it?
is a shotgun revolver. It is a giant, comically large revolver that shoots shotgun shells. Why, America?
You'll have to send it to me later so I can do that. Anyways, so yeah, I didn't really find that really all that great. Like the conditioning, even if he did do it wrong, Maya was always destined to take the death note because that's how the death note works. And I don't think this light realized that he was basically writing out her death sentence as soon as he put her name into the death note, because from the original series too, they say once you write a person's name in the death note, it cannot be taken out. So she was always going to die in the way that she did. It was just poor ways of doing it. So onward and upward to Watari, since we are talking about the death note and the burning of the page.
Yep, so let's talk Watari.
Watari was one of the best characters in this series, I thought, just because of how they were so close to the original one. It was crazy. Don't you agree, Leon?
Yes, it was. It was absolutely insane how close they were to the original Watari.
Like, I loved how they did his mannerisms, and like how he was like, must get sleep. It makes one strong, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Basically, he was basically making sure that L got his sleep and himself. So, do you want to talk about Watari for a couple minutes, and then I will
Yes, so let's
tell
go
him
with
about the Death
Watari.
Note thing?
One of my favorite characters is Watari because of his really just amazing outlook. He's an amazing character that you don't expect from him from this series after seeing Light.
Exactly.
He's a fun character. You watch him throughout the thing, and you legitimately get sad when he dies.
Yeah,
That's right. They kill off Watari.
Yeah, they
And
sure
you
do.
want to know why they kill him off? Mia.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys feel bad that she died?
No.
Good?
No.
Yep, good. So, let's go ahead and talk how he died.
Yes.
Light decided to do a whole plan. This plan was this. The plan was that he would try to relentlessly find out Elle's true identity, and then would basically burn the page before he would die by dealer's choice, aka Ryuk was going to choose how he dies. And he was going to do it. He's about to burn the page and it's not there. Mia stole it. Because she wrote his name in the death note so that he would die at midnight.
Yeah, she wrote Light's name in the death note so that way he would give her the death note, by the way. So basically, dealer's choice didn't really work out for Light very well because of the fact that Ryuk basically put it to where before Watari could say the real name, he was killed by the people that were supposed to save him, which is really doesn't make much sense to me. It was a really stupid death, but like, Ryuk's like, you said, dealer's choice. And I'm just sitting there like, you
His death
asshole.
was funny. To me, his death was funny. Basically, if you want to know how Watari died, so he goes in and finally finds where the cabin is, about to tell Elle's full name, and guess what? Cops come in and say, "Are you Watari?" He immediately says yes and gets shot. The cops found him. They were sent to find him, but I guess they didn't have more orders to come back with him alive.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's awkward.
Yeah, for sure. I do agree with that. I thought it was a really stupid death, and obviously
I saw
with
it.
the
That's funny.
with the burning of the page, I just hate that for the rules. So like, I don't have any faults with Watari's character at all. So this goes into Leon's corner for that part of it. We're up in the air.
2-2.
2-2, because no one likes Maya, and that's kind of
Yeah.
yeah, no one likes her, and she's kind of like the pinnacle of like why things got into motion beginning. So there you go for that. To Light's father.
Yay, Light's father.
Yeah. Oh, so we didn't say this earlier, but Light's last name is Taylor, which I have a problem
changes. You can't blame them. They're not in Japan.
That's true. That's very true. They're like Denmark or
no, they're in the U.S.
Right, but where in the U.S.?
Well, Denmark's not in the U.S. I can tell you that.
I thought.
No,
was it not. Detroit then? I knew it started with the D. Is it Detroit?
Denver, probably.
Denver or Detroit, one of the two.
It's probably Denver, Colorado.
Who knows? I didn't pay attention, to be honest. Anyways, Leon, you know more about this character.
I'm still here.
You know more about this character.
Yes, I do. This guy is fun to deal with. He's really, really fun in general because he absolutely roasts Light at every chance he gets. And I'm not even joking by that. You'll see him do it a lot. And he's a cop, so it's gonna happen. Your dad's a cop. It's gonna have tough love there.
Right.
He's a very fun character to watch, as he pretty much doesn't know it's his son, which is kind of stupid because with all the signs pointing towards him, he really should have found out, but we'll skip over that. He really should have found out.
I feel like he just didn't.
Said.
I feel like he just didn't want to accept that it was his son.
Yeah. So, let's see. So, one of the things I actually found interesting about this new character of him is that he's staying home a lot. Yay!
That could be a part of the reason that Light's mother is dead, though.
Yeah. But your point? He's still staying home more than he did in the original series.
That's because Light's mother's dead, not there to take care of him.
But that means we get more interaction with the father figure.
That's true.
Which is actually quite nice.
So I did like Light's dad a lot. I like the dynamics that they did with him. It's just that they killed off Light's mom, and that was like the pinnacle of like how Light saw the world and stuff, and I didn't really care for that part. I kind of wish that it would have been like he just was a rebel kid, or like he just, but like at the same time it wouldn't really save Light's character even if she was alive, to be honest. It kind of almost saved his character because she was actually dead, which is kind of sad, to be honest. Don't you agree?
No.
It almost saved his character. Almost.
It didn't save his character a bit. I don't care how much your family dies. If you're a whiny bitch, you whiny bitch.
Yeah, true that. Anyways.
You can't use that as an excuse forever, especially because it happened when he was younger.
Yeah, and even the counselor kind of said that to him. You can't keep using that as an excuse, and I thought that was really good, to be honest. And, like Leon said, his dad was really good. It was a pinnacle force when he was on stage, but I still, like, it goes to Leon, but I still don't like this movie.
Yay.
On to the next thing.
Ryuk.
One of the best characters in this thing too, by the way. And I want to say this really quick. I thought the Ryuk that was in this series looked like the Ryuk from the live action movie, but they did a lot of subtle changes.
Comparison, bam.
Comparison, there it is. They did do a lot of changes. I just thought they just like made it darker, and then that you couldn't see the original one as good, but no, they actually made him look completely different, looked more decayed looking and stuff like that.
Let's start off with the character design of Ryuk. The dude looks good. He has cracked skin. His skin looks like it's tinted green. The dude, He literally has glowing eyes in every scene that he's stalking L and Light
Right.
because he follows Light and then actually stalks L a bit as well.
Right.
He's on nobody's side. Unlike the Ryuk that was originally in the Death Note series, who was on Light's side just because of the chaos he was causing. This guy switches sides a lot.
Actually, the Ryuk wasn't on anyone's side on that.
Okay. Bad. Anyways, so, and actually, yeah, he was more on Light's side than anybody's. He was mostly partial to Light's side.
He still liked Ryuzaki when he got introduced, though.
But he wasn't like this one.
That's true.
This one, it encourages Light to kill, first off, which I like because, well, he's just messing with Light. Second, tells him all the rules, of course, and his favorite rules and stuff because they're useful, but also is on nobody's side. When he first starts off and Mia comes into play, he goes, "I like this girl. I'm going to make her stay," and tries to make her stay, even though she can't see him.
That's because she was creating more chaos.
And yup, the more chaos, the better for Ryuk. And then L gets introduced. Literally, the first thing he says when L basically does him dirty, aka does Light dirty by going on stage and telling him to kill him. He says, "I like this guy," and then immediately Light turns around and says, "Can you shut the fuck up?" So, I like this character. He's clever. He just wants chaos. It's all he seems to want in this whole series, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he's just a fun character at this point. He doesn't give a shit, which makes it so much fun to watch.
I do agree with that. And, like, every time he was, you said this last time, every time he was in frame, you could hear, like, silent clacking noises and, like, really creepy noises when he was around. It's like his presence was present. And, like, it was really good. But the only thing I disliked on the fact that even if you just touched the Death Note, you couldn't see Ryuk, which was kind of sad because, to be honest, that's kind of what I liked about the original series. As soon as, like, you touch the Death Note, you get to see the God of Death. In this series, they didn't really do that. You have to be the owner of the Death Note. And so that's kind of what I disliked about that part of it. And the fact that he was, like, manipulating Light a lot more to use the Death Note on people that would trace right straight back to Light was one of those things I didn't really care for. So, overall, though, I did like Ryuk. So, 3-3.
Nice.
So, anyone else that we need to talk about?
I don't know. I think that's everybody, actually.
I'm pretty sure that was everybody.
Yep, I think it was everybody, actually.
Alright, guys, so whose side are you on? Are you on Leon's side with, like, liking this particular show, or are you on my side that you really found, like, the original series be a little bit better than this?
Alright, Sion, have I convinced you that this series is a little bit better than what you originally thought it was?
Originally, yes, I disliked it. I groaned the whole entire time because every time that they would bring up a new thing that would be, like, different than, like, the original series, I kind of groaned a little bit, like, oh, here we go. And, like, at the end, when there's 14 minutes left, I was like, how much time do we have left? 14 more minutes? What are they gonna fill in here? They literally filled it with Light talking to his dad and telling him everything about the Death Note. So, I don't think you really convinced me. I just think that, yes, it did shed some more light on some of the characters and made them look a little bit better, but overall, I hated this series. I don't think I will watch another episode unless people request more theories on this. So our theory...
I'm going to give 5 spam accounts just to spam your video, watch the second episode.
So our theory is, for this particular one, is that the Death Note shouldn't be working in the fashion that it's working in. So basically, Leon's theory is that Light was stupid and didn't do the coding right, and my theory is that the Death Note just doesn't work that way, and Light didn't realize it and just signed Maya's death warrant when he did that. So whose side are you on?
And also, before we leave, there is one more question that hasn't been answered that I feel like we should ask.
Okay.
Who wrote the note?
Yes.
Everybody at the beginning, everybody who doesn't know, at the beginning of the episode, when he's looking through the notebook, Light sees something in the notebook that says, "Don't trust Ryuk. He is not your pet. He is not your." I think it was like he is not your friend. He is not your pet.
Right. Exactly. And
no one knows who that is.
Right.
And Scion has a theory about it that I kind of agree with in a bit.
So the theory is that it could be the original Light from the anime series, but I do have some allegations towards that. Basically, the original Light's Death Note was burned by Ryuzaki at the end of the action series. So I don't know if that holds any water of, like, it actually being the original Light's Death Note. If that's what they were going for, they should have really watched the ending of the series and know that... Well, I guess maybe in the anime series, it could have been the anime series Light's Death Note, because we don't know exactly what happened to it.
Exactly. You're going off the
movie they burnt. No, I'm going off of both. I'm looking at both.
I know, but if we go off the anime series, what happened to Death Note in there was things did hit the fan quick, but he got away with the Death Note in hand.
Very true.
It's just that Ryuk used his on Light, knowing that he was going to die.
Right. Exactly.
So I think, let's see here. He starts running down the stairs and runs pretty fast. Let's say he was writing in that notebook every time he was off screen. I think, and judging by how fast and sloppily it was written in the notebook, the idea that he was running away, writing the note, "Don't trust Ryuk, he is not your pet, he is not your friend," would seem legitimately good. Though we can't really tell because there's no way to prove it.
Yeah, and it's true. And like even Ryuk in this particular show says that you can only get 2 of his letters in there. And I think it's just a scare tactic because it doesn't work on Ryuk at all. Because like even Ryuk says that you can't write a Shinigami's name in the Death Note. It just doesn't work. And that was the original series too, that one was set in. But in this series, Ryuk suggests that you can try to write his name down, but you're only going to get 2 letters, maybe 1.
Which I like the idea of just him tempting them, because keep in mind the dude's been causing chaos the whole series.
Right. And if it doesn't work, then it just shows that someone did try to write his name in there and it didn't work out for them. What happened to them to the next person that gets the Death Note? So I do like that idea. If it is like the original Light's Death Note, that is very smart. But if we go from the live action movie, it couldn't happen, but the original series, there might be a way that it could be the original Light's Death Note. So that's just our little theory on that little notion of that part. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe down on the bottom. We have more videos coming out, and if you like this style of videos, let me know in the comments below. Tell us which side you're on, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.